All right, back out in the garage, working on the Jetstar 3 bits and pieces. I get the old sandblast cabinet hooked up. I did get some new the thin protective film. I got some new ones of those off of that online Big River store. Anyway, I don't know how long they're going to last, but anywho, I'm just slowly working on sandblasting all the bits I've got that I can work on. Got the front pulley done this morning. Yesterday, I managed to get the front cover that holds the main seal done and the cup for the air cleaner. Picked up a new toy as well. Online auction deal. So anywho, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm working on. I got a call out to Missouri sometime this coming week. This is Sunday the 11th, I believe. Anyway, call out there to get rings and rod bearings ordered. I really can't. Well, I'm just clean up mode for now until I get those parts. So I'll probably try and clean up the valve cover today, maybe yet, and then that adapter plate. Try and get it cleaned up, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, I did yesterday. I didn't film, but I did take the 52R back down to the farm. Got it put in the barn. Had to move one of the other tractors that I had just dropped into the barn, and then when I went to put the R in, I was like, oh, I didn't put that in a very good spot. That feels like there's a whole bunch more stuff that could be cleaned up. Looks like some of that's got, yeah, it's got a lot of grease on it. That's got a lot of grease on it. Where is, did I bury it? Yeah, of course I did. I have to move this stack. I think I'm gonna rearrange this and bring my gas tank parts washer out here where I can get to it. I wonder what else we got in there because I want to get as much of that loose stuff off as I can. Yeah, there's a bunch on that thing there too. Bolts with this wire loop. Those they don't look too bad. But we'll definitely soak these things in the gas overnight to get the schmutz off of them. Speaking of wire wheeling, need to clean up my drywall knives. I was helping some friends out, and then I got my illness and I didn't make it back, and then they didn't get cleaned up very well. Left wet, so they rusted. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. I say we got a coat of primer and some brown. I'm using Rust-Oleum brown leather. Wow, semi-gloss or gloss, I don't know what it is, but it's a little too dark. But you know, it'll be good enough for this tractor that's going back to being a work tractor. I'm probably going to put a second coat on these guys later today. Get this bad boy cranking again. As soon as I get a couple more pieces, I did get this one. That pipe's cleaned up, taped up. It's taped because that's the section that actually goes into the block or the head or whatever that is completely covered, and have to have O-ring. There's O-ring seals, so that's why I put the blue tape on there to protect the clean metal where the O-rings need to seal. So anyway, I'll be back. All right, I got a coat of paint on those two water tubes on the front pulley, and I got a second coat over here on those pieces there. I've got a small pile of parts here that I have started cleaning up. I knocked all the build up grease off all that stuff with my wire wheel in the grinder. Finally broke down and replaced the wheel because my old one was, I don't know if that shows up or not, but I have used it so much, like the side of the wheel on the right is like almost down it. Anyway, put the new wheel on, and then it immediately just started chucking wires across the garage. First time I use it, sparks and stuff. I had forgotten how aggressive those things can be when they're new. I have decided I am not going to try to wire wheel nuts and bolts and stuff with it like I normally would. I'm not sure how I'm going to clean that stuff up, but anyway, had I known how, I started cleaning up the, had I known how obstinate the old gaskets were going to be. Of course, the wheel on my DeWalt is about gone, and unfortunately the little mechanism that you use to hold the shaft in place so that you can change those is worn out. So I'm not sure how I'm ever going to change that. I may just have to replace the grinder, but I have to work hard to grind this old gasket off. And I got to tell you, it smells fabulous. And if you can't hear the sarcasm in my voice when I say that, let me tell you, I mean it as sarcastically as you can possibly imagine. So, but I'm gonna work on, try to get that cleaned up a little better so it's ready for primer and paint. And then I'm gonna work on the side cover, get it. There's not much paint to worry about getting off of it, but I do want to knock off what is there. And then, yeah, we'll see if we can get more stuff brown today. So, anywho, I'll be back. All right, still working on the Jetstar 3. I wire wheeled that real good, but there was just so much oil and stuff because the gasket leaks so bad on all of it. I also noticed I'm gonna have to get us a flat plate or something and flatten, because the the plate is buckled around every one of those holes where they over tighten it. I say I wire wheeled it real good, but there was so much oil and stuff. We used some magic grease remover stuff. Made a puddle on the floor. Shh, don't tell the EPA. Anywho, what else we cleaned? What else we worked on? Oh, yeah, over here on this end of the garage, I rearranged the corner. Got the adapter plate soaking. I wish there was a couple more inches of cheap gas in there, so we'd have to keep flipping it in for end, but that's cleaned up pretty decent. So I'm ready to put the second coat on some of this stuff, so see if we can make her brown. Paint. Do not criticize my painting technique. I'm not a professional painter. Not even a mechanic professional. I'm not even an amateur. Yeah, I'm an amateur mechanic, but I'll call that pretty good there. It's brown. Nice thing about painting this time of year, you don't have to worry about freaking bugs landing in your fresh coat of paint, which is guaranteed to happen if you paint in the summertime. I painted a 4020 John Deere for father of a good friend. I've known her since kindergarten. Oh, back, I don't know, I was in college at the time. Anyway, man, that hood, I don't know if you've ever been around a 4020 John Deere, but there's like miles of sheet metal on a 4020 hood. And I would lay down a good coat of paint. I'm just gonna put two coats on. Those are done. Anyway, I'd have, man, that hood would just be perfect. Come out a couple hours later and there'd be a dozen gnats, flies, spiders, you name it, all over it. We ended up getting some plastic and building a tent over the thing out in the barn to finally get the last. Of course, when you get that stuff, you got to sand it down, give it a light sand, and paint it again. After about the third or fourth, that thing, oh shoot, I missed something. I'm gonna give this thing here its first coat. It's the Oh, it's the little bolt thing that goes into the strap that goes around the air cleaner. There. Oh, it's got a coat of paint. Probably should have straightened it before I painted it, but it'd be all right. Anywho, we finally got a decent coat of paint on that 4020, and shoot, that was 30 years ago or better, 35 years ago. Last I knew, it still looked pretty decent. So, but he bought the paint. He went to John Deere and bought the John Deere brand paint, or John Deere buckets. I don't know if John Deere made their own paint, but it was John Deere paint. And yeah, I think we're gonna call those pieces pretty good. When that dries, I'll call that pretty good. I got some stuff to do in the house. I still got down here on this thing down on the bottom side. It's got that little cover plate. I think I want to take that off so I can wire wheel in and around it. There's too many nooks and crannies to get in and clean, and that plate might actually end up over here in the old JobSmart too. I don't know yet. We'll see. You'll find out later when I bring you back. See you then.